my lord, all the rainbow sparkles. I can feel the shoulder pads without even looking. I was trying to be good. Hey Pete! Hope you're doing well. I got something a little bit different for you today. Got the old box knife with me and doing a little unboxing of a new batch of vintage that I've just received today. So what we have here in this box is basically a load of 80s and 90s cropped jackets. Now this is from someone that I buy from quite frequently. They're always really good. They always send me oversized boxes, so in regards to what's actually in here, but it doesn't matter, it's like Christmas every time. So let's have a look at what is in the box. Oh yeah, there's lots of sparkly stuff in this. Let's just appreciate the sparkle. So all rainbow sparkles on the flocking. It's really cute. This is a definite 80s piece. But I mean, you can't go wrong with a rainbow sparkly bolero, can you? I mean, just look at that. Oh my god. It's such a great mishmash of styles because it's got a very Victorian silhouette to it, particularly with the arms. And you've got this lovely flock pattern on it as well. So far, so good, quite Victorian. And then, oh my lord, all the rainbow sparkles. I mean, you have to wonder if you had a time machine and you could go back in time and show this to an actual Victorian, would they be totally down with this? I mean, would their minds be blown? Would there be, oh my god, give it to me right now, I need sparkly goodness, but in, you know, a very Victorian way. Although thinking about it, the 80s, I'm sure there were still some Victorians alive. I wonder if they found it as weird seeing their old fashions being reinvented as we do about seeing like the 80s and 90s stuff in early 2000s coming back into fashion as well. Here's a 90s piece, and it's a pretty classic fabric, and it's a really nice iridescent taffeta, this one is. I don't really have the tripod yet to do an overhead shot, so this is about as good as it gets, I'm afraid, at the moment. It's pretty much a classic, I'd say, sort of style. It's going to be hard to go wrong with something like this on an outfit. What I love particularly about this piece is that they've used lace for the little loops for hanging it on a coat hanger, which I think is really cute. Got another sparkly number in here. This one again has got, I don't know if the camera will be able to see this, but these gold sparkles give off a little multicoloured sort of as you move around. It's quite a lightweight sort of velvet, this one. Another 80s piece. I can feel the shoulder pads without even looking. You've probably noticed actually that a lot of stuff in this box is dark coloured or black, and I'll be honest, that's the reason why I bought it. Not that I'm adverse to bright colours when I'm buying vintage, because obviously it's not for me to wear, but I kind of wanted some more gothy stuff. to add to my shop, because surprisingly I don't actually have a lot. So yeah, when I saw this I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. And it was cheap. Cheap's always good in my book. So yeah, we got a basic lace bolero. Oh my god, I can't talk. There's such a common design. It's just you know, a standard classic. Millions of these out there. Oh, this is nice. This is a nice velvet, this one. I'm actually kind of jealous. I wish this was my size. This is really nice. Yeah, this is a 90s piece. It's kind of a crushed velvet, but it's more like a wrinkle crush. So it's lengthways rather than kind of your more common crush, which is in all directions or all over the place. So this is nice. It's got a really nice sheen to it as well. That would be a nice little lightweight number for going out clubbing spring through to autumn, or just as a cover up for every day if you're a goth. Ooh, velvet. That's nice. That's got actually quite a nice iridescence to that velvet. You can see. Oh, God, I'm terrible at putting this stuff up to the camera so you can actually see what I'm talking about. I think that's a slightly larger size. We have actually got something white in here. Oh, this is quite pretty as well. Oh, that's nice. That's nice white. Well, it's kind of a ivory white. Yeah, it's more of an ivory white, this one. But yeah, that's quite nice, that is. It's a nice lace edge in that. I mean, if you were doing like a wedding, a vintage style wedding, this would be a good cover up for the bride. But, you know, also just the normal everyday little piece. I think that's actually the only white thing in here. Yeah, I think so. Just to break up the monotony. This is an unusual piece. I mean, it's got that whole, oh god, it's got that whole paisley sort of look going for it. It's quite lightweight. Almost feels like a pyjama top, to be honest. But what's unusual about this one, if I can get it up to the camera. Yes, what it actually says on the label is all rights reserved in fabric and or embroidery design. Copyright is Karen Stevens Incorporated. It's not the label you see. I don't think I've ever seen it on a vintage item before. It's quite rare to see that. Oh, this is nice. If you like a kind of pewter metallic sort of look, this is definitely one for you. This is pretty much a classic 90s sort of look. That whole grey metallic pewter sort of thing was quite big at the time, especially around the early 90s if I remember correctly. It's a nice quality feel fabric to it. I know it's all wrinkly at the moment because it's been rattling around in this box, but yeah, this is quite a nice quality. Man, don't you miss quality fabrics? This is why I hardly ever buy anything off the high street anymore. Just the quality is just so bad. Now here's an interesting piece. Interesting because of fabric. If you can see, it's kind of not a wavy pin tuck, but more of a wavy pleat. Sort of saying the fabric would have been made like this. I can tell you that because I actually have some fabric similar to this that I used in a design quite a few years ago, and unfortunately it didn't really ever sell. And the fabric that I had is basically, it's a PVC leatherette, and to be honest, this sort of effect looks really cool on a leatherette. I mean, it looks nice on this, but it looks even cooler on leatherette. So here's another one from that same brand, Karen Stevens. I mean, I was a teenager in the 90s, and this reminds me so much of the hippie store that used to be in the city I used to live in. This is totally that sort of vibe, that 90s fair trade hippie sort of shop. You walk in and you're just overcome by all the incense and whale song going on in the background and just racks and racks of clothing like this, or with a little embroidered doodads and all that sort of stuff on it. It's quite nice. It's quite thick actually, not stiff thick, but it's nice quality. I got this the right way up. That's the right way up. Come on. This is one of those pieces that's got massive collar on it. And because it's a short jacket, it confused me for a moment because I couldn't tell which end was the right way up. So this is an interesting one. Feels like a cotton. It's got this big sailor type of collar on it. You can see just how big it is on the back. And this looks like it's American made because it's got Ladies Garment Union label on the inside. Oh dear, the shoulder pads on this one have seen better days. Yeah, probably might be worth removing them from this one. I normally leave shoulder pads in purely because they're original to the garment, and most of the time they are pretty easy to take off. They're usually just stitched at either end to a seam, so they're pretty easy to take off if you want to. And obviously if you're selling vintage, occasionally you're selling to people in the movie TV industry, so they want stuff that's correct for the period. There's another reason why I leave shoulder pads in. And they're not so trendy nowadays to have those big shoulders, but they are still a useful part of clothing design, just don't tend to be used to the extreme that they did in the 80s and the 40s. Something a little brighter for you if you're getting tired of all the black. It's another one of those sort of 90s preppy look. Quite like the piping on the pockets and the little square buttons on there. I always have a problem with red items that they never ever photograph well with any of my cameras. Yeah, no. I told a lie. There is something else light coloured. Yeah, this is 90s. It's an embroidered mesh. Quite pretty. Oh, I think this is definitely going to be a favourite with the goths. I mean, not only is it velvet, but it's got puff sleeves at the top. Look, there's diamante on the cuffs. So yeah, if you want that kind of Victorian puffy sleeve that's very popular for your sort of trad goth, Victorian goth sort of look, this is the piece for you. It's nice quality velvet as well. Feels like it's got a stretch. Yep, it's got a stretch as well. Yeah, this is going to be a really good piece to have in your wardrobe. It's interesting because the bottom of it is elasticated as well, so you can potentially get a good fit, especially if you've got if you're wearing corsets. This is a great piece. If you've got an underbust corset and you wear this with it as well, yes, nice. So I put up the little velvet shrug with with diamante bits on the cuffs, and it's got such a weird shape on the front because this is the elasticated bit, and there's only this hook and eye, and it just really just flops open at a very unflattering way. Such a nice top otherwise, So what I'm thinking of doing is adding a bit to here at the front so that it will pull this together. It's really hard holding the camera and doing this at the same time. Like that. So basically you just get this scoop going underneath. Hopefully it'll look a lot better if I do that. It'll be a slightly more early Victorian sort of look, when the scoop is just around the bust rather than it just flopping around like this. It's just not a good look. Alright, we're getting towards the bottom now. It's another lace piece. This is more of a, what they call kimono sleeve, but it's just all one piece. It's got quite a nice trim on the edges. Just a nice little scalloped cotton. Nice piece and big size as well. Oh, you can actually see it better on. Wait a minute, have I got this inside out? I bet you are. Oh no, that is the correct way. That's odd. If you look at the lace trim on the inside, you can actually see it's much wider. It's more like a broderie anglaise. So on the other side, can't really see the little embroidery details. This is the piece that I saw when I bought this, and this is the piece I was secretly hoping would actually fit me. I always know that it's highly unlikely that it's going to be the case, and I can see from the label that it's never going to happen. I mean, these are actual metal little rivets. They're not really like the really thick proper rivets that you get like on jeans and stuff like that. These are lighter weight, meant for this sort of fashion, but these are actually like firmly on this fabric, so you can get that sort of 80s rock chicks sort of look. I love it. I do, I love it. It's that sort of, how can I explain it? That sort of cheesy but also fucking awesome sort of vibe going on. If you want to fulfill your rock chick dreams, this is going to be the top for you. This will go so well with like a leather or leatherette dress with this over the top, fishnets, you know, the whole shebang, big hair. Whatever you want to do, you will look awesome in this. It's so cool. I love it. Alright, that's everything. The box is empty. I hope you enjoyed looking at the goodies as much as I did. Now I've got to add it on the big list of things that need to be photographed. Oh my god, I buy too much stuff. I was trying to be good. But yeah, this will go up in the shop slowly but surely. I'll stick a link down in the comments area if you fancy having a gander. Right, better get started. Thank you.